Gentlemen, I wish there was an easier way of saying this, but breakups are hard. Getting heartbroken is hard, and you have to accept it and you have to move on. I was with one of my friends who is a judge in a court in India, and he had this very high position in a judicial office. Last time I met, it was 6 months ago, and I found that the relationship was not very sweet and it was a toxic relationship. I warned them about it. And right now, he was heartbroken and he was going and using all alcohol and drugs, which I told him he should stop because that is no way of getting over it. The first thing is that you have to accept it. And it is very hard when you feel that your loved one is with someone else, especially for us guys. When we have this feeling that the girl that we love, that we dreamt of, is with someone else, it's very hard. And what we do in general is we go use alcohol, drugs, and all that stuff. But that is not the way to get over it. First thing is that you have to accept it. If you are getting the negative feelings, you have to accept it as a part of your own. Happiness and sadness, both have to be acceptable. Unless you accept both the feelings, you are rejecting half of you. Happiness and sadness, both of these feelings should be accepted by you. The second thing is that you have to cut contact. I have been heartbroken in the past, and this is a journey of every man, that someday or other, the women that you love, that you planned for, is going to go away, and it would not be very nice for you, and you'll have all those negative feelings. After accepting it, the second thing is that you should withdraw all contact. Don't try to follow on social media, block her on WhatsApp, and at least for 6 months. I'm not saying do it permanently, but at least for 6 months, block all contact. I remember I had this relationship with a girl, and we were very serious one day, and things happened and we had to break up. And then it was me, like, I wanted to jump out of the East River, but I didn't. Instead, what I did was I blocked her social media, I blocked her WhatsApp, and I blocked all form of contact. I even deleted the photographs that we had together. It is very important because in order to move on, you have to understand that, let's say she posts a photo on a social media, on Instagram or whatever, with a new gay best friend, and then you get all kind of thoughts. Who is she with? Is she her new boyfriend or whatever? And that will make your efforts in vain. You have to stop contacting her. You have to stop looking at her social media. It's very important. Now, it is very hard if you are working in the same environment. This is not the story of my friend, but my mother used to work in a government office, and these two people were madly in love. They even considered running out and getting married, but due to the caste difference, the mother of this guy did not permit him to marry. And the condition was such that this guy almost jumped off the building. He had a very good government job, and I was told by my mother that this guy almost jumped off the building. And it is very insane if you don't let it cool down. You have to cut contact, not because that the person that you love was not a good one, but you have to cut contact because you have to stop thinking about them. And that is very important. If you start thinking about them, if you look at the social media feeds, it's just going to make matter worse. And the third thing that I would like to tell you, for all of those guys that are going through the same journey, and understand this, even Elon Musk or Johnny Depp face the same journey. It's all the same. You will be heartbroken, and this is just your journey as a man. So the third thing is that don't be in a hurry to jump into the next relationship. Take yourself some time, because if you jump into a next relationship very quickly, it would just cause you a lot of pain and turmoil, and it would not be worth it, and it would be very hard to get out of it. You have to give yourself some time to absorb, because when you are with someone, there are memories associated with it. You have to let it dissolve. How do you dissolve it? Simply by not making any contact, or by actively taking efforts not to know where your loved one is. And the second thing is by not actually trying to get into a relationship just after your earlier. You have to take some time off. And even when you have some mutual friends, let's say you have a friend and they tell that girl you love just bought a new dog or bought a puppy cat, just tell them, for 6 months, I'm not hearing anything about her. This is absolutely essential that you stop thinking about her. If you look at the population of the world, half of the people are women. There's no scarcity. You have to be in abundant mindset. But I understand this one woman that you want, that this one girl that you want was the perfect for you, was the one that you imagined getting old with, getting kids with. But you have to understand that you will find a new one, but don't be in a hurry. get to yourself and understanding that there were some mistakes, that the relationship was not perfect, and it will be all right. When I got my first breakup, the year was 2019, and I felt so sad. For 6 months, I was on alcohol and I had drugs. I was just functional. I had some clients that I was working with, and I was spending most of my money. Everything I had, I was spending it. I was just so much functional that I was able to do my day to day chores, but I was not actually able to make it through. And it took me 8 months to get out of it. But it was all fine. I found a better girl and things happened and it was all fine. So you have to understand. The first thing is no contact. Don't try to make any contact. The second thing is don't follow her on social media. Third thing is delete all the photos. If you can delete the photos, get a pen drive and store all your photos together in that pen drive and store it somewhere in your locker or store it somewhere remote. That even when you actually have to, you have the access, but don't store it in your Google Drive or Dropbox that just, you just go to Google Drive and get access to all those photos. Don't do that. And the third thing is don't be in a hurry to get into a new relationship. It is very, very important. This friend that I was talking about, he was a judge at one of the prominent courts here in India, and seeing him such a base level was very heartbreaking for me. And this is the advice that I give to all my fellow gentlemen who are watching me. And one of the things I would also like to remark is the story of the hand. So this is a guy who get 12 other people by forces, right? Google my story, the hand. I'm not gonna tell it here, but I'll tell it in some other videos. If he can get 12 other guys by a horse, can you not get another person? Think about it. If I give you a choice, getting 12 other people to be agreeing to you to get by a horse, wouldn't you get another girl? So thank you for watching this video, guys. I hope I could help. But yeah, it is my advice. No alcohol, no drugs. Take care.